Okay, as I last left off, we're going to explore this upper area now, and I don't see anything that immediately suggests to me that this is the quote unquote intended route, as in, I don't think this is actually taking me towards progressing through the main puzzle of this area. I do believe that this is probably another section that is a secret area. Which means that I'm going to just run around this a little bit, and I assume that I'm going to happen upon another collectible item in this game. I think what's very interesting to me is that I found a lot of these collectible things fairly naturally and fairly intuitively just by keeping my eyes open and tending towards poking this game's little corners as opposed to progressing blindly through and just ignoring all the little hints that exist in this game. So I will give this game some major props. It has done an extremely good job resisting my tendencies to demolish games by actually putting content in all of their little hidden corners. Like in this section, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use what I know about yelling at the fires to see if there's some sort of connection between yelling at all the fires here and unlocking something in this area. I assume that this will actually be the one time where by yelling at all the fires something happens. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll hear if I get some sort of that I've actually solved something or not. And I think I'm actually in the room that has the blacklight stuff, protein, milk, all over the ground. Milk has a lot of protein in it, right? So yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a lot of milk. I believe I'm in that room now with the pillars. So I guess this was up here the whole time. And that's very interesting to me because I just grabbed a fragment from the last little broken up circly-do. So you don't collect those linearly, except you do. So that's really, really something else to me. Don't really know what that is all about. Can I survive that drop? The answer is no, apparently. So I'm gonna have to walk around this area and do things the slow way. The other thing that is kind of worth pointing out that I can think of is that I wasted all my time and energy by yelling at all those lamps because nothing happened, and I was wrong once again. There appears to be no purpose towards yelling at the torches, except for what I assume is at the very end of the game. I don't know, it's like, game completed, and then part of getting 103% is it says, like, you yelled at 400 out of 400 torches. You are a psycho bastard. What did those torches ever do to you? Yeah, sentence due to you. And you don't need to torture them. Let's go over here. I think that I saw something back. Yeah, it looks like I might be able to do another section up here by jumping onto this rock that I'm staring at. By jumping onto that one. No! Ow. Oh. He's fine. Yeah, he's got 2 legs. Even if he breaks one, he can probably bounce back from it, right? Okay, so this is going to be kind of really annoying. I'm going to have to go back up that whole section, but this does give me time to talk a little bit more in depth about the game design stuff that I was hinting at earlier. So what really got me started on thinking about game design and learning how things like your visual aspects in your level design will guide the player, what got me thinking about that specifically was the game Team Fortress 2, where that whole game is immensely well designed visually, and because Valve does that really awesome thing where they release commentary tracks on their own video games, a lot of the levels and stuff have commentaries in them where the level designers and the artists will say, this is why this is the case, and like it's things like we put a bunch of railings here so that your eye would would be drawn to look horizontally, so you'd be able to see like your objectives and stuff like that. So that's what really got me into thinking about that sort of stuff, and it's like basically game design 101 level. Like it's not exactly a high caliber thing to be like, oh yes, you use your visuals, you make your ramps look like ramps, and then players will know that they're ramps. Like that's super duper obvious in theory, but in practice it's way harder to execute than you might expect. And so when I see a game like this one that has done such a good job with regards to making the visual feedback work for the game, as well as the auditory feedback and the level designs, seeing all those things executed as well as it does, like it's simple, but it's also it's like artistically well done. And I can say that about nearly every aspect that I admire about this game, is that there is a lot of art and a lot of beauty and a lot of care that was poured into all of the things that go into making a video game be a video game. Now, I don't want to start igniting is it art debate or whatever, but let's just say that this game certainly is. The fuck is this? This is like, is it going to be Bugs Bunny hiding in the bush? What the hell is going on here? Like, yeah, we're going to put up a fake tunnel. Mother crapper. I just praised this game. For it's like, oh yes, if you look at all the tunnels in the world, you'll see that they're visually will guide you. They put up a goddamn fake tunnel just to fucking... whatever. Hey, let's go into here. So... this whole area is a little bit kind of weird. I broke all the vases, and I don't really see a lot of purpose to the things I've done just yet. I might have missed something when I went through that one area. I went through one hallway, and instead of going through the very, very end, I didn't go all the way through. I stopped, and I'm wondering if... yeah, okay, so this is the other side of that. So I ran through this part, and then I popped out here, and I've yelled at all the torches, and this is another section that has a lot of wind flying through it, so presumably this is like the quote-unquote main part of this area. Let's find out, though. Oh yeah, this is clearly like the sequence to get the... there's gotta be like a counter for torches or something like that. Anyway, yeah, this is clearly the direction I want to be going if I want to get to actual progress in this sort of game. I really am starting to get quite curious as to what the torches are actually going to do for me towards the end of this game. If it's going to be something like this is kind of cool. If it's going to be something like, to unlock the last, like, treasure, you must have yelled at every single torch. I'm gonna be a little bit annoyed because that's gonna be super uncreative. But, well, I'll keep an open mind about it and see what ends up happening. So when I press Y on this thing, it illuminates another statue. The Hyperlight Drifter, aka Little Red Riding Hood over there, is continuing to just stare at me like a very creepy dude. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna keep humming into these statues, and my assumption is that each time I do that, a new statue will be illumined, and I can get kind of close to him here. Anyway, each statue, a sequence of statues will be illuminated, and I'll be able to get through this section by following the path of illuminated statues. That does not appear to be the case though, so I'm gonna sing at this statue and see how that changes the game world. I activated it, and it appears to be the case that nothing happened. So, what I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna change my thinking. I think that I probably just need to find every single statue and be like, statue! I will sing you the song of statues. And we'll go from there. Well, this room is dark as shit, so here's hoping I don't end up missing one and spending like 10 hours running around in this section being like, where is the last statue? I can't move on until I find the last statue. And it turns out it was like under my left butt cheek the entire time. I swear, that's the butt cheek I always check first. But, you know, sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes you just miss. Okay, so I didn't even see the statue. Totally did not catch on that there was even a statue there, so that is kind of spelling a little bit of a disaster for me having kept track of where all the statues are. You know, I've gotten through a lot of this without asking for any sort of hints or, like, consulting with my chat or a guide. Nothing like that. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to continue it. But if I've run past any statues, I do not really have a whole lot of vested interest in running like a more than, let's say, 2 laps through this area. So I will probably consult with people to be like, hey, you missed one. If indeed I missed one. So I think that there was one more statue. I know, I see one. I don't know how to get to it, but I know that there's one up, and I just need to find my way towards it. And there's also a route over here that I saw earlier in my travels that I did not inspect. So I'm gonna go this way and see if I can find this. This looks to me like this is definitely a secret, and this is not actually a, what the fuck is that? I'm gonna yell at this thing. Now, this is either a ghost, a bishop from a chess piece, or a humongo, let's say, pleasure tool. And I don't really want to know which one it is, but I also want to know which one it is, so I'm gonna jump across this pit. Alright. I'm gonna jump across this pit, and I'm gonna yell at this thing. Okay, so I yelled at that statue, and for some reason it wasn't lit up. That was really, really weird. Well, anyway, that is a ghost, so let's see what this is all about. Far be it for me to expect I get an answer in this game. You know, I just get a... Just get a that. Well, at least the place is less haunted now, so hell yeah, I figured that out. I do appreciate the lack of violence in this game. Actually, I tend to appreciate non-violent games in general because I think that designing games to not be violent at their core is a very difficult problem to tackle. So I always commend games that are able to exist without necessarily being structured around a battle or killing things. That's not to say that I dislike games that are violent. I just have a very enhanced appreciation for games that manage to pull off what they're going for without the need to have it be confrontational or violent or anything of that sort. Now, there's a statue. That's good. I think that's all the milk. Yep, and I got an achievement for it. And the Hyperlight Drifter is gone. Yeah, go figure. Well, I'm gonna do a quick swivelly-do around the post. And I'm gonna check what that was an achievement, what the description of that achievement was. And then I'm gonna drop into this tunnel real quick. So that says, bring light to the Labyrinth of Darkness. It's just that achievement. Well, that's what I did. So we'll drop into this towering puzzle of tower puzzles next time. Thank you for watching.